The executions of hundreds of inmates on the nation's largest death row are being halted. Governor Gavin Newsom announced a moratorium on the execution of 737 inmates for as long as he is governor.
KSBY News reporter Alexa Bertola is live at the SLO County Courthouse, where the district attorney is taking a strong stance against this controversial move. Alexa.
Justin and Karina, currently 3 men are sitting on California's death row for crimes they committed here in San Luis Obispo County. Now, 2 of those cases date back to the 90s, and the 3rd one was in the 80s. Some of California's most heinous killers no longer face execution. Governor Gavin Newsom signed an executive order to halt the death penalty in the state until at least 2023.
The question really is, do we have the right to kill? Do we have the right to kill? And that's a deep and existential question. I don't believe we do.
New photos of equipment in the death chamber at San Quentin State Prison being removed. 3 men, including Rex Krebs, are currently on California's death row for violent killings committed in SLO County.
I am primarily saddened on behalf of the victims. I want to make sure that the victims and their families are not left out of the public debate that we have.
Besides granting a reprieve to every condemned inmate, Governor Newsom also withdrew the lethal injection regulations that death penalty opponents have already tied up in court.
Personally, I am against the death penalty, but I don't believe he went about it the right way. I think he should have put it to the people to make a decision.
And I actually couldn't believe what I was reading. I disagree. I believe in the death penalty, and we should follow through.
The order says no inmate will be released and no sentence or conviction will be altered. Newsom joins governors in Oregon, Colorado, and Pennsylvania who have imposed moratoriums on executions, all using executive powers.
I'm concerned that Governor Newsom, while he promised during his campaign not to impose his will over the will of the voters in California, he's now, in a sense, doing that.
Within the last few years, Californians voted to fast-track the death penalty process. They also voted down a proposition that would have repealed it. And California has not carried out an execution since 2006. Live and local in San Luis Obispo, Alexa Bertola, KSBY News.
Alexa, thank you. I'm sure there's more to come on this issue. There are currently 12 death row inmates whose trials were held in San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara counties. And this week marks 20 years since Andrea Crawford was abducted and killed by Rex Krebs. He's currently on death row, as you saw there in Alexa's story. The prosecutor for that case says, quote, the governor's decision is an unprecedented and stunning abuse of power. He is in essence ignoring the will of California voters and verdicts rendered by over 700 juries in this state. Governor Newsom tweeting earlier today about his decision, saying, quote, the death penalty has been an abject failure. It discriminates based on the color of your skin or how much money you make. It's ineffective, irreversible, and immoral. It goes against the very values that we stand for, which is why California is putting a stop to the failed system. Assemblyman Jordan Cunningham also commenting on the matter, saying in part, the death penalty is a moral statement by society that every life is valuable. And if you take a life in particularly egregious way, society is going to give you the ultimate punishment. President Trump also took his thoughts to social media, tweeting in part, friends and families of the always forgotten victims are not thrilled, and neither am I. Sourcing the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, the Los Angeles Times reports that 24 inmates on death row have exhausted all appeals available to them. Most of the inmates on the list have served for dozens of years, from Ricky Earp, who has been in prison for 27 years, to Harvey Heichman, who has served nearly 38 years. And more details on that. The state of California has executed just 13 people since the U.S. Supreme Court reinstated the death penalty in 1976. 79 inmates have died from natural causes while waiting on death row. 26 have died from suicide. The last time it was state executed an inmate was 2006 and have not done it since due to legal challenges of the lethal injection method.